You know what I want for you? I want you to feel so secure in your relationship and your man, and I want you to feel so loved. And I want you to know that he is the person you're going to spend your life with. Do you feel that way about this dude?
I've been with my boyfriend going on 8 years since school. We've had 2 homes. He's a pro footballer. I've had my own business for 4 years. We have dogs, an apartment in London. He won't marry me. It's my dream, like a deal breaked the same as wanting kids. Oh, it's like a deal breaker. So if you're not going to marry me, then this is it. Yeah, like I want a marriage. If you don't want to either, I wouldn't have started my life with you, I'm thinking. I've set myself a promise that if by July 1st he's not proposed, I'm leaving. I'm finding someone who will and going to Ibiza with the girls. His season will have started by then, so he won't be able to propose abroad. And that's my dream. And that means waiting another year if he's not done it by July 1st. Some people get engaged after 8 fucking months. So why am I waiting 8 years?
Welcome to The Wall, brothers. Here, I want you to notice 2 things. This is a woman in a successful relationship. She has a well-positioned man, and she's doing well herself. But like all women, she desires the ring. Of course, this man doesn't want to. He probably knows what happens to most professional footballers who get married. They see all their hard work vanish in a divorce. Why isn't the status of a free union enough for this successful woman with a man who has her well? Why does she want that contract with the state so badly? She says she'll go to Ibiza with the girls, and you know what happens on those girls' trips. It'll be even worse when you hear that she said, "I'm looking for someone who will do it." You know they're all going for it. Now, the question here would be, why doesn't she leave him and find another man who will offer commitment? It's simple. It's because her current boyfriend has money. She's been waiting for that commitment from him for 8 years. Why doesn't she look elsewhere? Maybe another man would give it to her in 8 months, but he's not a footballer with 2 houses, expensive cars, a high-end social life, presence, good physical condition. In short, this man brings a lot to the table. This woman knows that the moment she leaves him, he'll replace her as if nothing happened. She doesn't want to leave empty-handed from this man. Brothers, it's a matter of numbers, not love.
If you're in the era of your life where everyone's getting married, everyone's having kids, you kind of feel like, should I be doing that? Should I be married by now? Should I have a boyfriend? Like, what is going on? You kind of start to feel this peer pressure to like speed things up or like, you know, get a ring on your finger, find the one that's going to change your life and then have the kids do like everything. Well, I'm here to tell you that you don't. And I'm sure you've probably heard this before, but just think about it like this. You don't have to take that path in life. You don't have to take the path where you get married, you get a house in the suburbs, you have the kids, and, you know, you do what everyone else is doing. If you want that, that's totally fine. And, like, you can also do that as well. I think I really want to normalize the idea that in our 20s, we should just be chasing our dreams, chasing our passions, our interests, and not worrying so much about, like, finding the right relationship, because in our 20s, I think that the most important relationship is our relationship with ourselves. And I'm in my 20s, so like, I mean, I don't know, when I'm in my 30s, we'll see what happens. But I think that's so critical. Honestly, like my family, I have 2 brothers. They're both married or engaged. One of them already has a kid, probably another one on the way. Like they are living their life. They're doing the family thing. And their idea of like the perfect weekend is playing with the kids in the backyard in the sunshine with like the sprinklers going off and having like, you know, barbecues in the backyard and stuff. My idea of the perfect weekend is going to a nice restaurant on the river, eating miso sea bass and watching the sunset. I don't want to hear screaming children all around me. Like I want to enjoy the natural beauties of the world. I want to travel the world. Like I'm literally going to be backpacking Europe, which I'm so scared about, but I'm so excited. And there's so many things that I want to see and experience that I can't really pinpoint exactly what I want right now. I don't want a relationship right now because I want the relationship with myself to be so strong and solid that I have the energy to give to someone else. Because right now, like, my energy is so, like, it's going inward so much, if that makes sense. And I'm so focused on making my dreams come true. And these dreams are to travel the world. These dreams are to make a big difference, to grow my YouTube channel, and to just do what I absolutely love to do. I don't want to, like, the thing that scares me the most is looking back a couple years from now and being like, or like on my deathbed and being like, I wish I did that thing. I wish I did that thing and didn't care what people thought about me, or I wish I did that thing and wasn't afraid, you know? So even if people around you are getting married, getting the ring on the finger, like having kids, don't worry about that. Just focus on you. Everyone's at a different point in their life, just like healing, okay? Nothing is the same. You do you and that's it. Love yourself.
The speech of every feminist woman who fails to get a ring, worse yet, can't even manage to have a stable relationship. These are the ones who show you one face, but behind closed doors, they collapse into tears over their loneliness, brothers, and women. Pay more attention to their actions than to what they say. Just look at how she describes the life of a married person, how she defines the stages, how she talks about her siblings' marriages. That woman wants to get married like crazy. That's why she's doing things to distract her mind. Like those famous trips every single woman takes. She's just looking for ways to distract herself because if they stay at home, they fall into depression over their situation. It's no wonder that women are the biggest consumers of antidepressants, the ones who go to therapy the most. In their 20s, they're at their best, but as they enter their 30s, they realize that the wall is coming for them. We all know that the wall doesn't forgive, so you can tell yourself it doesn't matter, but we all know that your biological clock is telling you to get married because time is ticking. If you sleep, the wall will come for you because the wall doesn't forgive.
How long does it take for a man to know whether he wants to marry you? Well, ladies, it only takes 172 days. It only takes a man 6 months to know whether you are marriage material. I know what you're thinking. You've been together with your man for years, you're living together, and you're like, why hasn't he proposed to me? Ladies, I'm going to tell you something that might make you glad that he hasn't proposed to you yet. The honeymoon phase. The honeymoon phase lasts anywhere from 3 months to 30 months. That's 2.5 years. After 2.5 years, all your partner's flaws are going to start to come up. You're going to see how annoying they are when that thing that they do isn't so cute anymore. You're going to have a lot more ups and downs, and arguments are going to become far more frequent. Also, the passion starts to die, which you're going to have to take matters into your own hands and spice things up if you want to keep your relationship alive. All in all, if you're in a relationship and you've been together for over 6 months and you're wondering, when is this man going to propose to me? Be thankful. You have up to 2.5 years to decide whether you want to marry them.
172 days to realize that this is a bad idea. It saves you a lot of time with this. Don't do it. It's a terrible idea. The problem with the modern woman is that what they offer for a marriage is little, which doesn't motivate a man to want to give them the ring, because why would you give a ring that could financially ruin me over the years just for your presence? Because this is what most of them offer. When you ask a woman what she brings to the table, what she does for me, what she contributes to the relationship, when you evaluate her based on her treatment, you realize that if she wasn't a good girlfriend, she'll be even less of a great wife. That's why it's always good to be with a woman in a free union or live together for a while, because brothers, in that cohabitation, you'll realize what you're getting into. If living together doesn't treat you with respect, doesn't take care of you, doesn't take care of your home, when she gets married, it won't be any different. That's why some men see that women completely change when they get married. They show their true colors, and then you realize you made a mistake, but it's already too late. This woman can now get half of your money, your house, every asset you have, and what did you get? Her presence, the same thing she gave you in a free union, nothing more. Brothers, getting married nowadays is overrated. It's simply a bad deal. But before we continue, brothers, we want you to support us in our goal for the next few months to reach 50,000 subscribers. We want our family to keep growing. So please help us by subscribing and liking the video, since this helps YouTube recommend our content more. Don't forget to leave your comments. So please stay tuned, because this is where the video gets exciting.
If he's telling you that he's not sure he wants to get married, he wants to see how it goes, he wants to move in with you, you know, it's better if we don't get married, because we'll both keep trying harder. It's not the type of person you want to be with. And I'll tell you why. It's very simple. You don't want to be with a fair weather friend. You want to be with someone who commits and goes for it, because life is going to give you ups and downs and turns and twists, let me tell you. You cannot be with a partner on the preface that it's always going to be rosy and gay and happy. You cannot do that. The whole idea of commitment and marriage works because you are there through thick and thin, And if you are with him and he's with you, as long as you're the best, brightest version of yourself, and he's always on the lookout for a better version, because essentially that's what he's saying. You're good enough for now, but if something better comes along, I'm going to hop ship like the rat that I am, then that's not the person for you. Don't convince these people to try and marry you. Don't try and talk them around. Just know that they're not the type of person you want to go through life with. You don't want a half-ass person. You want someone who uses their whole ass.
And that's why she's still single. See, as I told you, they don't like free union because it leaves them exposed. They know that if they get involved with you, you'll see what she brings to the table. That's where you realize how she takes care of you, how she cooks, how she takes care of the home, whether she's a woman whose money never seems to be enough, if she's a spender, if she's addicted to shopping, what her bad habits are, if she's the type of woman who's always picking fights, or if she'll bring chaos to your life and home. That's why they don't like free union before getting married, because they know they have to put in double the effort to convince you to sign that contract with the devil. Brothers, if a woman isn't willing to live with you first, she only wants to get married no matter what to share life with you. Just tell her you want a prenup or leave this woman, because I assure you she wants everything but you. Remember, a man gets married for love, a woman for a lifestyle. If you're going to make a bad deal, at least know how its internal functions are. If living with you makes that woman a disaster, being married will be the same, but even worse because she has legal rights to your assets.
Men marry the woman in front of them at the time they are ready to get.
I just hate this theory. Like, I just don't think it's true at all. And I also just think it, like, devalues women. Like, not to be that girl, but, like, I do. It's essentially saying to women that you yourself, just, like, from being you weren't enough to convince, entice, whatever word you want to use, this man to get married. He's only getting married to you because he's ready to get married and you're in front of him right now. What? And also not to be that girl of like, I'm the exception. But like me and my fiance started dating when we were 17, dated a year till we were like 18, broke up for 1 year after that, and then since then have dated ever since, and we're getting married in April. That's 9 years of us being together from 17 to 26. So no, this man is not just marrying me because I was the woman in front of him when he finally decided he was ready to get married. I was the woman next to him when he was a dumb little shit at 17. I was the woman in front of him when he was an even dumber little shit and thought it was a good idea to break up with me. That is a joke. I have no real animosity over that. That was so long ago now. I was the woman in front of him when we decided to get back together and work on a relationship. I was the woman in front of him when he decided to go to law school. I was the woman in front of him when he graduated and had to go through, post-grad life, getting a job, transitioning into all those things. And I was the woman in front of him when we finally decided it was time for us to get married. It's a decision you make as a couple. Like saying like it's like all in the hands of when the man wants to get married devalues the woman, devalues the couple. I just think it's kind of stupid and immature point of view, to be honest. My fiance is marrying me because he loves me, appreciates who I am and what I bring to the table, and because he values the partnership that we have, not just because I was standing in front of him when he was ready to get married.
Absolutely, this woman has her feet on the ground and understands that a relationship takes two. If you say that a man only chooses the woman in front of him, then you're saying you're not woman enough to keep this man. The thing is, women have this idea that we men are like sex machines who don't pay attention to their attitudes. But what they don't know is that we silently discard. Men know when a woman is more focused on the status of being married than on being a wife. Many women only seek an expensive ring and a grand wedding. They don't really care who they marry as long as they can provide the wedding of their dreams. That's why you see divorces happening before the first year or marriages not lasting even 3 years. Sometimes, a man sees a woman's attitudes, especially when they've been in a long-term relationship. He sees how she treats him, how she expresses herself, how she handles finances. As I said, we observe silently. When we reach a point, we say to ourselves, this woman isn't wife material. She's more concerned about my assets than taking care of me. And that's when we leave and find someone who loves us for who we are, not for what we bring to a marriage. Brothers, be careful not to give the ring to the wrong woman, because it's a decision that comes with a very, very high price. We've reached the end of the video, but before we go, the questions are for you. Why do you think men don't get married nowadays? Why do you think the footballer doesn't give the ring to this woman? If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. Your support means the world to us and motivates us to create more content. Stay tuned for the next exciting video from The Wall.